Good morning, folks, and welcome back to the channel. This morning's vlog, I'm going to head out into, I'm going to plan to head down to Glen Etive. The day is, it's a typical sort of West Highland winter's day. It's wet, it's windy, there's low cloud. So yeah, I want to talk about some of the challenges you face, especially at this time of year, although especially up here in the Highlands it can stretch on a little bit further than just winter. So I'm going to head down to Glen Etive. I'm going to look at how I personally would face these challenges. What I find is because this weather is, I mean, obviously we get a lot of rain up here. Glencoe and the west coast of Scotland is one of the wettest areas. It's often windy as well, so you face these challenges quite a lot. And if I didn't go out in this type of weather, I probably would get very few images. So yeah, I just want to talk about the challenges we face and how I hopefully overcome them. Certainly this type of weather though does add atmosphere into the glen, which I love, and sometimes we get some really nice light as well during the or just after the rain or breaks in the rain. So come with me. And as soon as I get down there, I'm going to drive down there, put you on. Hopefully we find something, and hopefully I'll get a few images. See you when I'm down there. I've come along Glen Etive and I've found my first shot, I think. So it's nice and simple. I've just pulled up onto one of the few parking places that there is, and I'm just trying to use this lovely little bridge in front of me here and the road going into the mountains at the background. Problem I'm having is I'm down in a little gully, which is good because it is windy, but the camera's still getting a little bit of a buffeting. Also, the rain's coming in from the side, so it's not too bad, but I'm going to have to bracket, I think, because that sky, I need some definition in that. And putting the filters on, I still think they're going to get wet. I might give it a go, but yeah, once I've got set up, I'll put you back on and hopefully I get something from the shot. So the camera's getting buffeted a little bit here, so it's settings wise I'm at 100 ISO. I am 1/6 of a second, or probably don't need to be 16 mils. I'm going to take that to 20 mil, and yeah, just try and use the road as a leading line in. Probably, as I say, I'm either going to have to bracket or I'm going to have to put a filter on. Now, the problem I'm going to have with the filters is the rain's coming in from the side, so it might cause me an issue with that. But we shall see. I might try a bracketed shot here and drop that down to 1/10 of a second. 3 shots bracketed. So yeah, that's looking, if I look on the back of the camera, yeah, that's giving me plenty to work with there. I am going to try a shot from higher up on the road here, just to see if I can bring the road in a little bit more. It's blooming cold this morning as well, so I have got my gloves with me. Down by the river, some nice little rapids as well, so I might have a quick look there. And there's a little waterfall leading up to the mountains up here, so on the rock. So again, this area looks promising for 3 compositions. The only problem I'm going to have shooting that way is that the rain's going to be coming directly on the camera itself. But yeah, not a bad start, I don't think. Certainly feel as though I might get something from here. further down and I've stopped again, and I'm at the probably the one place that I don't really have a lot of time for down here in Glen Etive, which is the famous shot, made famous by Skyfall, 2012 James Bond film. Yeah, I love James Bond, but yeah, we get a lot of people asking about it. So they have actually built a parking space here for cars, because you get that much interest in it. But the shot itself is actually quite nice. So what I'm doing is I'm using these rocks as a little bit of foreground interest. Very similar to the first shot. You can see the bridge and then going down towards the glen itself. I'm quite high up, or relatively high up, but I'm still getting buffeted by that wind. So again, I'm having to use quite a quick shutter speed. So I'm on 1/10 of a second. I am bracketing again because I've tried with the filters on and they're just getting battered with the rain here. One good thing I've got on my Benrock tripod is I've got spikes on the bottom, and I just sink them into the ground. It really does help. Certainly keeps the tripod a little bit more stable, and then I just try and wait till that wind dies down a bit. So yeah, it's now quite low, the wind, so we'll just get that shot, and if it works, here it is. I've moved on a bit and come a bit further down to quite a well-known, or certainly a site that I know quite well down here. And one of the things I have to do on days like today where it is quite wet is I'll have to look for different compositions. So if I flick you around, I'm at one of the falls down here, and normally I would try and shoot it from this direction looking through and up to the mountains. However, the rain's coming directly into my face today, so what I'm going to have to do is just head around the corner a little bit and look for some different compositions and try and shoot with my back to the rain, just so I get less on the camera lens, especially down here. This fall is quite a big fall as well, so you get quite a bit of spray off it when you get close. But I'm going to head around the corner, see if I can find a composition and shoot back the other way. So I've clambered down this area here and come along to these rocks here where you can see I'm set up. What it's allowed me to do is, obviously, like I said before, have the rain at my back, so that's allowed me as well. I'm a little bit more sheltered here as well, and you can see the falls. And what I'm doing is I found this beautiful rock here with the split in, so I'm using that as my foreground. I've got the falls in, I've tightened up the composition so this tree is now out of it, and I'm shooting towards the mountains at the back. More importantly for me, what it has allowed me to do is to put my filters on. They're not getting wet on the front of the filter, so it's allowed me to put those on. And now I've got, I'm shooting at f11, 0.4 seconds, 100 ISO, and 16mm. Slowing it down a little bit just gives me quite a nice shot. I'm quite happy with that shot, and hopefully once I get it on the screen, if it works, you'll see it. But yeah, just tweaking the composition, coming down here, not an area where I'd normally shoot. I'd normally shoot the other way onto the falls with the bigger mountains in the back. But yeah, this is quite nice, and it's forced me to find this composition. So yeah, quite happy. Oops, sorry there, camera nearly went. It's still quite windy, so I have got the spike into one part of the ground, but yeah, just got to keep an eye on it. So that wind's coming through now, very cold, but yeah, I'm enjoying this shot. So hopefully, as I say, if it works, you will see it. I just finished shooting the waterfall down there, and I noticed a set of falls which are running right down the side of the mountain. Never seen them before, never noticed them, and flick around. Don't know if you'll see them very well at the moment, but down here, set of falls. Sorry, I'm out of breath, and I thought I'd go and have a look and see if there's anything worth shooting up there, but it's quite a trudge in, so I'll finish my walk in, and hopefully if there's anything up there, I'll put you on when I get there and I'm not too out of breath. So like I said before, I'm going to try and use the filters here. Yeah, it's going to be quite wet, so let me just see what that gives me, and then I'll try and, so that's 0.3 seconds, so quite happy with that. 200 ISO, and yeah, that looks all right actually. So we'll just give that a quick wipe. We might try and just take the ISO, get it to 1/4 second by putting it on to 320 ISO, f11, about 18 mil, and that looks all right. I'm quite happy with that. Obviously I don't need a 3-stop filter grad on because I'm not using the Sky. Yeah, that looks like it's quite a nice shot. So what it does is, if I put you on there, on screen you'll see exactly what I've got. So I have these falls here and running into the main fall on the left hand side of the screen. Might even try and widen that out a little bit just to give me a little bit more breathing room on this side of the frame. So what I've done now is I've widened it out a little bit because I wanted a little bit more breathing space on the left hand side of the frame. So I'm gone to 16 mil, and yeah, just tried to lower the camera a little bit, so point it down a little bit so that sky's not involved. That rain is keep coming in, so it's still 1/4 second. In fact, I'm going to drop that down and I'm going to try a 1/2 second exposure just to give it a bit longer. Yeah, I like that quite a lot. So hopefully you'll see this one on screen. So I've basically moved up to practically the base of the falls here. Again, a very similar shot to before, but thankfully, because of where I am, so I'm in this, I suppose I'm protected by this gully, and the wind's definitely dropped up here, so that's good. The rain and the spray aren't quite as bad, although the lens is still getting it. You can see where the camera is. I've got it set up, and I'm basically using this lovely little V here leading up to the falls in there. I should have some decent mid-ground here as well, so, and again, cutting out the sky because there is still absolutely nothing happening in the sky. It is just slate grey. So settings wise on this one, I am at F11. 0.2, what am I doing? Yeah, 0.5 seconds, 160 ISO, and I'm having to shoot wide. In fact, I wish I'd brought my 14mm lens with me, because I think this is actually a much wider shot as well. I might try and get the camera a little bit lower as well and see if that I might start to lose things on the composition, so we'll see how that goes. But I'm going to give the screen a wipe and get a few shots. Probably going to try and drop the time down to about a third to a quarter of a second, and we'll see how that goes. But if it's any good, as usual, you'll see it on screen.
In the sun, the sun never goes. In the sand, the sun never goes.
So as you can see, I'm back in the car. I've finished shooting down here in the Glen. I'm actually sat in traffic, believe it or not. Highland Council are doing some work down here, so it's a bit of a wait to get through whilst they do something on the single track road. So hopefully today you saw that whilst it's challenging, which it is a lot of the time up here in the Highlands, it can be, you can get stuff, or hopefully I've got some images from today as well. But you just need to be a little bit creative with the way you shoot things. Think about compositions a bit more. It does force you to think about that, especially when the camera's getting wet, the lens is getting wet. So hopefully you can see that you can come up here to the Highlands when it's winter and you can still get something, you can still get out and about. Just be prepared. Clothing, Wellingtons, just expect the bad weather and go with the flow. So as always, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. It does help me build the channel, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks again.
And you was evening, I know I turning. I know that I've been in the moment for what to go. The love that we once shared and the grief that we hold. Violins in the rain, playing a song of my lost love. Violins in the rain, my heart is torn apart.